So hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Masai Gains on Cars. Today, a bit of a special episode, well, a bit of a different episode because I got a Range Rover here, and you guys know I don't usually look at Land Rover products because of issues of reliability and whatnot. But as you can see, this is a beautiful Range Rover Sport. I had it in today and I thought I might as well just go through this vehicle from a Land Cruiser guy's perspective, you know, getting into one of these, how they feel and how I compare it as well to like my Cygnus. So this is a Range Rover Sport. It's a diesel version. I believe it's a twin turbo diesel, probably putting out just about 250 horsepower, nothing too crazy. And as we know, with the Sport version, it's sort of a downsize from the full size Range Rover, but they're very popular. And you can see this is finished in a pearl paint, and I can see all the sparkles, and it's actually got a sort of a greenish tint that comes out when you look at different angles. So I'll definitely say the paint job on this vehicle is very impressive, very beautiful. And of course the styling, you know, whatever cars you like or however you look at reliability, at the end of the day, in terms of just appearance and aesthetics, Land Rover products look very good. I don't think there's no taking away from that. They look very good and they are very stylish. So what we'll try and do in this video is not get too deep into ownership experience or sort of reliability in the long term. We're going to take this car for what it is. We're going to look at it at face value, the kind of interior it offers you, a few of the different features it offers you, and how it feels on the road as well. So if you guys enjoy the videos, hit like, subscribe, comment down below, and enjoy. Thank you to Ace Prestige Motors for giving me this vehicle today. If you guys want to buy a new car, used or brand new, this is the place to check out if you're in Nairobi. Gong Road, Ace Prestige Motors. They got Land Cruisers, they got Range Rovers, they got it all. So want to buy a car? Check them out. Alright, so I'll just take you on a little walk around of this vehicle. As I said, it's got this sort of green sort of tint or finish that's coming through the paint, and it's a darker paint, but it looks really nice, gotta say that. So if you come with me, we'll go through the car on the exterior, and then we'll go through the interior, and then you can let me know what you think. So obviously we're running big rims. I believe these are 20s or 22 inch, and you got low profile tires, which is just not ideal for an SUV. I don't know why they do that. And that's sort of my issue sometimes with Land Rover, is they build an SUV, they say it can go everywhere, and then they put air suspension and 20-inch rims and low profile tires. Take this stuff to the national park, or take this stuff to some of the other areas in Kenya, and see how well it holds up. I'd probably guarantee something will go bad. But if we come around the vehicle, I like the styling cues, I like some of the accents, I like when they do these grills and these vents. They look nice. So the overall appearance of the vehicle is very nice. And if you come with me, we can see a few of the small features. I'll try and show you one feature. You see how this thing will just go in. So you see that you open the door and you got a little side step that comes out for you, which I think that's pretty cool. And you also have soft closed doors. So if you just by mistake close the door like that, soft close, and it'll close for you. So, you know, little features that I actually find pretty interesting, pretty fun. Everything is electronically controlled, and that obviously gives an issue if you're planning on owning a vehicle for 10 years or so. But just at face value, it's a beautiful vehicle. If we come around the back, we will go through the interior, but you know, it's fully white. There's not many cars I've seen it's just entirely white, and this is probably going to be a nightmare to clean if you're going in dusty areas. But in terms of appearance and the way it appears right now, this is a low mileage car. It's beautiful, and I do like white. So we come around the rear of the vehicle. As I said, this is a diesel version, but this is an HSE, which means the top spec. So like kind of like my Cygnus, this is an HSC badge, so it is the top spec version. And it's a Range Rover Sport, so you don't expect the full-size Range Rover and the sort of the cutout lights that you expect with the full-size one. I think the rear end of this vehicle is all right. It's nothing crazy. The front is beautiful, and we don't have a split tailgate, So I'm not so much a fan of that. It's a split tailgate like we get in the Land Cruiser, so you can, you can sit out and you can lay some drinks. This is just a standard opening, but no complaints, and you get a huge space, so luggage shouldn't be an option. And little plastic bits over here, so if you're bumping luggage up, you're not going to break your car or damage your vehicle. So pretty useful. And little things that make this a luxury vehicle, including of course an automatic closing, which you expect if you're paying up to $100,000 for this vehicle. So we'll go in the interior now and see what it has to offer there. Alright, so we're on the inside of this Land Rover, and as you can see, the theme here is black and white, and it looks beautiful. I'm not so much a fan of these bloody sporty seats that every modern car has. I'm not even joking. Look at the bolster on this, and there's no give at all. It's so hard. Maybe you wear this in and it becomes softer, but first impression is I'm not so impressed with the comfort of the seat, that's for sure. My Cygnus is way softer and more comfortable. But the overall appearance of this interior is stunning, absolutely stunning, from this center console to everything else. I'm just going to start the car up. Obviously we've got stop-start ignition. Start the car up. Close this. The seat adjusts and goes to my position, so obviously you've got memory seats. The center console is beautiful, and you have this panoramic roof that is actually really nice. If we can just get this open, there you go. So how about a panoramic roof for a touch of luxury on a hot day? And obviously you can open the roof as well. So this is the panoramic roof, and then click another button, you can open it up, or you can just get the whole thing open. So yeah, so some of these features I think are really fun. That's really beautiful, and it adds to the experience. The chrome bits, you guys know I love chrome, especially when it's used delicately. It really makes things stand out. And you got your AC controls all over here, so nicely laid out, and a decent screen actually. And this car has got a bunch of features. We know with Land Rovers they have their terrain response system, and so you get your standard terrain response here with a few knobs that you can do mud, gravel, rocks, all the different modes that they offer. And you've got a nice little center area here, but I will say everything is so hard. The leather is not as soft as you'd expect, and I would think if you're paying this much money you should get Mercedes S-Class kind of comfort, but that's not so much the case. But if we move to a few of the other things, you get a classic Land Rover steering wheel. It is nice, I like it, and I like also the fact that you got this LED display. But I will still say that I'm still a fan of classic speedometers. I'm still a fan of seeing that needle and seeing that needle move and having a cluster of gauges rather than just going to electronic gauges. As much as it is nice and you can program it and put different stuff there and it gives you lots of information, I'd rather just have the classic steering wheel. So as I said, this is a diesel version. It's quite an economical vehicle, and that's also sort of an attractive part of buying this vehicle. And obviously it is very capable as well. Land Rover Terrain Response is very capable, but you don't have any solid axles in this vehicle. You've just got coils and springs and independent suspension arms, and so without a live axle you would be worried if you're going over some real tough terrain. But Land Rover have perfected their product in that aspect. I want to take you through an honest feel, as I said, coming from a Land Cruiser sitting in this. So I said immediate impressions were this seat is too bloody hard. It's just not that soft. But other than that, you got a beautiful display. I have got a little handrest over here. That's also very, very hard. But the overall appearance is beautiful. I love the way the styling has been done. It feels very, very nice. It feels spacious. This panoramic roof really does the trick. So you've got a simple gearbox here, and we've got our Land Rover Terrain Response. So Terrain Response, if I just flick this knob around, we go into grass, gravel and snow. We go into mud and ruts. We've got sand, and you can just turn off the system entirely. So what the car does with these different modes is basically adjust the suspension settings and adjust the kind of torque that it gives to each wheel. So if you're really stuck, you can actually get out of those areas. So what we're going to do, simple gear knob, you have a lock at the back, so we're going to put it, we want to get it out of park. Let's go into drive. Alright, we're into drive. So let's go into the reverse. So you do get a beautiful reverse camera, so maneuverability of the car is not difficult at all, I must say. So we're just going to turn this guy around. It is a large car and it feels like it, and I like that. I like the size implication. Feels good to maneuver and doesn't feel that difficult, even though it is quite large. The cameras help, and I would say as well, sound insulation is really good. As soon as you shut the door, it's nice and silent in here, and it's properly smooth. The vehicle is properly smooth. If I just put on my seatbelt real quick. Right, so you're in your little cocoon of luxury. It's pretty smooth. You heard the automatic door locks there. And even this is a diesel, it feels pretty smooth. Gonna go through here. So we are running on air suspension, which makes the ride kind of smooth. Air suspension is pretty smooth, but at the same time I must say it's not the smoothest, craziest smooth ride I've ever felt. You can feel those bumps, and I'm sure you'll see it from the camera as well. The car is moving around a bit. It's not that smooth on this kind of terrain. Right, so I just got this car turned around. So as I mentioned, twin turbo diesel. From my initial impressions, there is a bit of lag, but once the car gets moving, it's got quite a bit of power actually. So that's pretty impressive, and it feels good. I mean, straight away the lag is not much, and the car pulls like crazy. So you got a lot of torque in this vehicle, as you would expect from a diesel, and that also can be very beneficial if you're off-road and having that torque. So that's fantastic, and overall size does well for Nairobi roads. It's not bad at all. So if we just get into, and I must say as well, you know, some of the issues that I have with the ride quality is a consequence of having those bloody 20 or 21 inch rims and low profile tires. These things just don't help with ride quality at all, and I've definitely realized that. But certainly it is still a smooth vehicle. I mean, going over these kind of roads, and everything in this interior feels well put together and quite rigid. So I like that a lot. The steering wheel is super light. If you saw my Benz review, you know, this feels like that steering wheel. It actually feels like the Cygnus as well, so it's kind of a hydraulically controlled and nice and light, which I do appreciate. And I'm starting to get used to these dials, these electric dials, but I would still prefer a speedometer. And this seat, I'm still reserving my opinion on. They're not that comfortable, but the overall feel of this vehicle, you know, you feel like an absolute king, and I like that quite a lot. Just chilling here with the white interior and the way it complements with the black finishes as well. You know, you got piano black gloss finishes over here. Most of everything that you see is actually covered in leather, and I like that. You know, they've not skimped out. There's no plastic. Most of it is leather, or, you know, good materials. I do believe this piece is plastic, so that's not ideal. but material usage is quite good in this car. So you know, spending $100,000 or so on a Range Rover Sport, we're not including any comments on reliability. You know, I'm not trying to tell you how this vehicle is to own over 4 or 5 years or 50,000 kilometers. I'm not able to tell you any of that. But what I can tell you is these simple initial impressions coming from a Land Cruiser guy and how this car feels. I do wish Toyota took some of these styling cues. I do believe Land Rover does very well with interiors. I mean, these interiors look absolutely stunning, and you know, I wouldn't say anything against that. They do a good job. The material usage is really nice. There is a few things they could improve on, and overall reliability is not something I can really say on. But initial feels, if you were, you know, gonna drive this vehicle, it is smooth. The air suspension works well, and it's a big vehicle, and it also does feel capable, actually. And other, you know, perks you get with spending the money on this kind of car is, you know, you get like a 21 speaker system, so you expect good sound. But I would assume that this white leather interior is probably a nightmare to maintain. I maintain a beige leather interior in the Cygnus, and I do plenty of work on that leather, so I can't imagine how much it would take to maintain this. But overall, I'm definitely impressed. I definitely like the vehicle, and it would be interesting to check out a full-size Range Rover and compare that and how it feels. But this definitely rides very smooth, and you know, it's definitely good fun. Alright, so rounding up this review, guys, I wanted to just take you on the inside. If you just come a bit closer, a few of the features I liked is actually something interesting, though, is I've just sat in this car for about 5 minutes and already my pants are leaving an imprint on the seats, so I'm not sure how this would deal over a few years. But nice features. When you get out of the vehicle, the seat goes back into the position like it's a telescopic seat, like how you have a telescopic steering wheel. And I will also just show you the ride height, because you have got air suspension, so let's actually see how high you can take it up if you're on some rugged terrain. So what I'm going to do is just turn the car on. So as you see, it's lowering now. I have put it in the low mode. That's incredibly low, so that's supposed to assist you, I guess, when you're getting into the vehicle. That's so low, almost like a saloon car. So now I'm just going to put it in the high mode. Let's see how much ground clearance you can actually get. So this should now go pretty high, and what I'm impressed with is how fast this system is. This compressor works really quick. In a matter of seconds, you are seriously high off the ground. So that is quite impressive. And as you see, you know, coming as a Land Cruiser guy, I know my car has got good clearance, and I can put the Cygnus up into high mode and get some more clearance. But this thing did it really fast. I've not seen something do that fast. And look at the amount of clearance with those side steps gone. So it does make it a very capable vehicle, no doubt about it. I'll just give you a little rev of the engine to hear it, but it's a diesel, so we're not expecting anything. Alright, so I thought I'd just give you a quick show of this engine. It is a diesel, so you can hear that diesel running. It's a twin turbo, and I believe it's putting out just about 250 horsepower, but nothing crazy to look at over here. Just a simple diesel engine, and I'm not a Land Rover expert, but it's got a lot of torque, that's for sure. So the performance is adequate. Long-term reliability, I have no clue. So that's it, guys. Quick look at a Range Rover Sport. Maybe one day we can get this vehicle and compare it to my Land Cruiser Cygnus. I think that would be quite a fun and cool video.